Hello. We're back. Episode 2. I'm Ethan.
I'm Hadley, and this
And this is to
is
tell you the truth. Oh, we did it. Oh,
we did it. Love it. Today's episode, we are going to be talking about Valentine's Day. We're going to be releasing it on Valentine's Day, so if you don't have like a hot date or anything, listen up.
we'll be your hot dates.
Yeah, look at us, so cute. If you can't see us, you're just
We
listening
dressed
to
up
the
for
audio. I promise we look precious.
Check our Instagrams. Okay, so Valentine's Day.
Well, first of all, just want to remind everybody that we are from SHARE, which is Sexual Health and Reproductive Education at the University of Maine, under the direction of Dr. Sandra Karen. And we are super excited to get into this episode. Go ahead, Ethan.
Yay, let's hit it. Valentine's Day. Whether you had a good one or a bad one, everyone's had a little story. Good ones. I don't know. I can't relate. You?
I've never really had a Valentine. I've never really had a Valentine. So,
oh my God, but you're so hot.
Oh my God. Thank you. I'm blushing. But yeah, no, I really haven't had a Valentine until like this year. And so I don't have an opinion one way or the other. I'm not like bitter about not having a Valentine. So I'm not like, I hate Valentine's Day. It's so dumb. But like, I also don't have like I have one amazing Valentine story.
Oh my God. Yeah, say it.
But it's from
love.
From the 6th grade. My sweet, sweet friend, who definitely had a crush on me, but I was like 12 and awkward, so I like didn't recognize crushes. He and his grandpa like pulled up to my house after school with a bouquet of flowers and chocolate covered strawberries, and we had a very friendly hug, and he said happy Valentine's Day. And it was the sweetest
my
thing.
Stinking God.
And,
oh my God, that is the cutest thing.
Yeah, so 10 years later, now I'm finally getting another Valentine's Day. Very exciting. But in between there, no Valentines. So I just heard about Valentines from my friends and, Instagram.
You've like lived through people. You've experienced it through. Yeah, I'm a seasoned Valentine's Dayer. We'll chalk that up to my codependency issues.
Oh my
God. Yeah. So for some reason, and I have the same feelings about New Year's expectations. Everyone's like, "Oh my effing God!" Like Valentine's Day, you're gonna be so romantic. The rose petals, the string quartet. My first Valentine's Day with a boy was I got dumped over text in the 9th grade. I thought it was my swan song. No, I mean it. Like, I thought it was my swan song. I thought my world was coming down around me. I'm like, this is it. There is no recovery. I laid in bed, pulled my sheets over my head, put in my iPod Nano, because that's how
it was back in the day. Back in the day.
And I put my headphones in and blasted My Chemical Romance and cried myself to sleep underneath the blankets. I woke up and I cried so hard. There was condensation. I didn't need my Aveeno that morning. My tears kept my skin moisturized.
But it can only go up from there.
Yeah, it didn't, but it could.
I could have. No, like it definitely had potential for sure.
No, it did. Well, and then because then there were ones that were fine. Like we went out to dinner, but one guy took me out. He was wearing sweatpants and like a Patriots sweatshirt and took me to Chili's. I was like, don't get it twisted. Do I love a good Chili's date? Absolutely.
Listen,
do I want that on Valentine's Day?
Is there anything more romantic than the 2 for $20 at Chili's? I don't know if there is.
I was gonna say suit, tie, lobster, champagne.
Right.
I get I was 16, but like
no, like I get it. No, I get it, but like 2 for
Chili's
20,
and sweatpants.
so sweet.
I know, but that's in the past. It is a new year, and we both have boyfriends. So what are your plans? What are you guys doing?
Honestly, not much. Probably just gonna hang out. We didn't really have today's the 12th, so 2 days before Valentine's Day. We didn't have plans until last night.
I love
But
that.
we're just gonna hang out, do a little gift exchange,
Oh,
something like that.
yeah,
He definitely has me beat on the gift thing. I'm not supposed to know what it is, but I know what it is. Heated
of
blanket.
course.
I'm so lucky, so special. But I haven't figured out what to get for him. Gifts are so hard.
Gifts suck.
But
Oh my God. I know. Well, I mean, it's a pandemic. It's like that's kind of hard to do like a date in. Like, me and my guy are going to Longhorn, and my present
nice.
is he's buying my drinks.
That's so sweet.
That's so drinks and steak. You know what? I can't complain because there's nothing I love more than alcohol and a steak. Yeah.
Is there more to life?
No, absolutely not. End it there.
Maybe a little smoochy at the end of the night.
Yeah, maybe you know, I'm not gonna say my mom showing me The Sound of Music influenced me wanting to kiss someone like in the rain dancing in a gazebo. It had something to do with it. I think that may also be why I'm gay, but that's another
Okay.
topic.
That's a little controversial, but we love, work through
I mean,
it.
I'm
Talk
sorry.
it out.
What?
Talk it out.
Yeah, I mean, I was exposed to Mary Poppins, Sound of Music. My favorite movie was The Little Mermaid. I had no chance, and that's okay. I ended up great. But Valentine's Day, there's a lot of pressure, and like if you succumb to it, you're gonna ruin it. You are, plain and simple. Like, because you have to remember, like, yes, it's romantic, yes, it's a date, but it's like a birthday. Like, good birthdays happen, bad birthdays happen, but it's like the effort you put into it. Because if you're just gonna sit there and you're gonna be like, oh, like this isn't enough, like, oh, I wanted this instead. Like, don't get me wrong. Did I just make that comment about my chili story? Crickets.
Yeah, no, like a little bit.
But it also goes to show the effort your partner or date is putting in.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm just going to say, maybe don't bring your significant other to Chili's if you've been
Or
dating
if
for like a
that's
little bit.
like if that's your thing, fine. But
That's
like,
true. That's true.
yeah,
Yeah.
no.
Well, because,
Go ahead.
oh no, sorry. I was going to say, because like, it's also knowing your relationship, like where to go, what to wear. Because if you've been dating for like 2 years, like me and my boyfriend have been together for like a hot minute, I expected like a nice steak dinner. I'm going to wear, probably a nice little sports jacket and a collared shirt. And he's going to wear khakis for once. And it's going to be perfect. But if you've only had like 2 or 3 dates, your little something, you don't have to do all of that.
Right. Yeah, and I think that's like, especially during like a pandemic like this. Like my boyfriend and I met during the pandemic on Tinder, and like
Love.
we haven't really been able to do like the whole like go on dates and do a day trip or anything like that. So it's like where you and I are at very different stages of our relationships and like have very different expectations of like what's going to happen. And we're also different. We seem very similar, but we're also very different people and have different love languages and expect different things from our partners. And it's very, Valentine's Day can be really hard because you scroll through Instagram or you look at
Ugh.
everyone's Snapchat stories and whatever. And it's like you're constantly comparing your Valentine's Day to everybody else's Valentine's Day. And that can be really frustrating and really hard. But
Yeah, because like when Becky, Lou, and Cindy got, Swarovski crystals that are covering every inch of their body, and you're like, oh, like, my boyfriend got me like a Yeti with my name on it. Like super sweet present, but when you see Swarovski or like I know this one friend I have, her boyfriend always gets her a pair of Louis Vuittons.
oh my god.
And then I know, I'm like, does he have a brother? And and she always posted on her Snapchat story. I'm like, if I was like a girl and I was like with my boyfriend for like the same amount of time and I see Miss Ma'am getting Louis red bottoms, I'd be like, what the hell? Step your game up. Out of your mind. Taking back the Target jewelry, which is nothing wrong with that.
Which is nothing wrong with that. It all is based on your relationship and where you're at in your relationship and the things that you like. Like personally, I Like Louboutins, amazing. That's so good for her. I would break an ankle, and I don't wear outfits like that, so like that wouldn't work for me. Thoughtful, sweet, but like if my boyfriend got me that, I'd be like, do you really like? Do you know who you're dealing with? Like, do you know? Like, do you actually know me? Because I would much rather go with like the Getty. That'd be cute. That's functionally like I'd use it. Whatever. I'd break an ankle on those shoes. Lovely,
Great
but no.
ankle. Yeah. Well, not you. Well, and that brings us to the perfect gift for each stage of the relationship.
Okay, let's hear it.
And I don't want to hurt feelings, but it has to be said. If you are just sleeping with someone, if you are nothing but a body to them, which pop off, go you, yay.
Of course.
If he or she or they or them get you a McChicken and a Shamrock Shake, you should be on your knees, groveling, saying thank you so much, because they don't owe you anything. They, you know what? They do owe, if you guys are like sleeping, like hooking up together, they owe you to come over. But they stop at that McDonald's and pick you up that McChicken, you say thank you and you are grateful. Because you are not together. Agree. You have no claim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like now, you're the hookup that he chose to get the McChicken, and that is romantic in its own sense of absolutely. A McChicken. So sweet, so kind,
so sweet. Oh my god, yeah. Like if I was hooking up with a guy and he was like, "Hey, before I come over, I'm picking up lube, a box of condoms, and do you want a McChicken? And do you like Shamrock Shake?" I'd be like, "Hell yeah, I like a McChicken and a Shamrock Shake."
Yeah.
And things get a little heavier when you're freshly dating. I feel like this stage is like the kind of importance because it sets up the relationship, and it's not like a hookup where it's like, oh, there aren't really feelings, like we're just having sex, like that McChicken's great, but I could do without. If he doesn't bring it, I'm not going to lose my mind.
Right.
When you're freshly dating, you have to find the balance between, oh, I'm showing I care about you without coming off as like
coming on too strong. Yeah. Or like setting expectations too high too soon in a relationship.
Absolutely. Because if you've been dating for like a month or two or even a few weeks and like you're going out for Valentine's Day, awesome. I hope you have a great time. But if you're going to K Jewelers and getting like a promise ring, which we will come back to in about 5 seconds. Give me 5 seconds. We'll come back to that.
Put a pin in the promise ring. We're coming back.
Oh, my blood is boiling. Because if you're gonna go get like really nice jewelry or like, first of all, unless you have been dating for a long time, do not buy clothes, because unless you know their size to a T, if you go and buy someone clothes and it's like, clothes are different from everywhere, but you don't want to buy someone like an XL from something and they're like, you think I'm a beached whale. Shamu called. She escaped from SeaWorld. No, you leave that alone. Flowers. Great open
flowers are always a great choice. Mm-hmm.
I know. Something they mentioned liking, like in passing, like, we always make comments of like, oh, I love those shoes. Like, oh, I really, really liked, something you saw anywhere.
Yeah. And then of course, like a simple little date is always a great option too. But if you're worried about like pandemic things, then like, of course, you could even like make some pasta together at home and do homemade something like that. Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, homemade gifts are perfect. Or better yet, board games. A game you guys can play together.
That is such a good idea.
That's so cute. Yes. Oh my God. Even if you're not just dating someone, like if you've been dating for a while, buying a game you guys can play, or a puzzle or something you can do together, or a cooking class. Oh my God. Hold the phone.
Good. That's good. Yeah. Well, you said board games and I'm sitting over here like, well, I need to step up my game a little bit. I need to get something. Guess what I'm shopping for? Or right after
board games.
Card games. What do you meme? Oh my God, love that game.
Yeah, absolutely. Because that's so fun and it's something you're going to use. And it's not something too serious, but it's like, pushes you guys to spend more time together too. It's a great gift. Now, if you've been dating past the I love you stage and on, I feel like you can step it up a little bit. Unpin. No tea, no shade. Enough with the promise rings. Enough. Oh my God.
Promise rings are canceled from this point forward. They should have been canceled a long time ago, but there's no need. If you really love that person, and you are, an adult, what's the difference between a promise ring and an engagement ring? Just do the engagement ring at that point.
For real. Oh my god! Or like even get like personalized jewelry, like a cute little necklace,
Mm-hmm.
with, like a little initial. Enough with the promise rings. I've had it up to here with people being like, "My perfect one." No, that is from Pandora. It costs $60 and it's made from slave labor. Enough. Oh no, it's so tacky, and it's not. And if people aren't into it, your thing. This is simply our opinion, and from what we've heard from other people, because a lot of people wrote in to our podcast from our Instagram was like, enough of the promise rings. We're done with it.
Mm-hmm.
It is TV's fault, because if you were our age growing up watching like Zoe 101, and then you kind of moved on to like One Tree Hill, Degrassi, like a little more
Right.
scandalous, everyone and their mother got a promise ring. Everyone. It's just tacky, and you can do better. Because don't get me wrong, a cute ring.
A ring? I was just gonna
Great.
say, like a cute little ring, like
Stackables.
oh my god, so cute. But you don't need to get them a ring that's like, and I promise to you. Just get them a ring.
Because at that point, just engage.
Cute. Yeah, exactly.
I know. So enough. So no, you're not gonna go get them a promise ring. You're gonna go. You're not gonna do it because we're telling you no. Even if you think deep down, I'm gonna say most of the people that wrote in were people who had received them, and they were like,
no, like it was sweet.
And I am.
Yeah, well, I think that brings us
but
into
no, you can do better.
Yeah, definitely, like jewelry, sure. Make sure it's something they've either already told you that they like, or text their best friend and be like, and send them screenshots.
Genius.
And be like, hey, this is what I'm thinking about getting them for Valentine's Day. And they'll be honest, and they won't sugarcoat it, because they're not in the relationship. So if you need advice, go to the best friend, and do not get a promise ring.
Or do not get a promise ring. Or if like their best friend, not your favorite person, or if like you don't, honestly, they don't have great taste. Find someone. Find preferably, because you know what? Not to say men don't, but women usually are the ones receiving jewelry on Valentine's Day. Find someone who has really good taste in jewelry and be like, hey, how does this look? Run it past them on pictures. Now say, here we are. You're on Valentine's Day. Your lover pulls out a little box and says, I promise to love you, and they give you that monstrosity. How do you react to a bad gift?
That's such a great question. I think that there's a lot of ways. I think there's a lot of ways that you can react. Like you could totally pull like a, oh my god, why would you do this? I told you I hate it. Like throw a fit. Like have a little bit of like
cause a scene.
No, cause a scene is an option. Probably not the best option. It is an option.
Yes.
But I think a way to handle it gracefully would be like a little like smile and a nod and be like, oh my god, cute. And like appreciate it. They put thought and time and love into choosing this for you. And if it's not your thing, well, if it's not your thing, then you can always talk about it later. But in the moment,
like later.
In the moment, be grateful. And if you're having a nice night, don't let it ruin the evening. I mean, if the night has already gone to shit, then you might as well do the cause the scene thing.
Oh yeah, you might as well just then scream, "Why did you sleep with my sister?" Like really, just go milk it if that's what you want. Yeah, if you're gonna go there, just make a big one, or don't listen to us, because that probably was not the best advice.
That's like advice we'd give each other. I don't know if you want to hear that.
Yeah, probably not. But it goes to saying, Sophie was just, and not for nothing. If someone put their all into a gift and it sucks, just say thank you. Mm-hmm. Don't make a scene, even though we were joking around. Don't. They tried, and if you can tell that they really tried, because some people just aren't good at giving gifts. And I know some people, like this couple I know, the guy bought flowers and the girl was like, oh, thank you. And because he thought they were her favorite, he now buys them every like holiday, anniversary, Valentine's Day, and they became her favorite because he kept buying them. How
That
sweet.
is such a sweet story.
And she hated them at first. They're still like not her favorite, but like she's like, I love them because like of how much he thinks I love them.
Yeah.
And it's
And
so
she
sweet.
and it's something to look forward to, and it's something that when he sees reminds him of her. So like that's
Yeah.
sweet in itself.
I
Yeah.
know. So like if they're really trying, like you just got to be grateful that they got you something they tried. Like
Hmm.
honestly and truly. If you can tell that there is no effort and that, it's a placeholder gift, maybe then you can say something. I would, but like you don't want to come off bratty, but if you can tell that someone just like went to like the dollar store and got you like a pair of tongs for cooking because you like to cook, and you're like, I do like to cook, but maybe Dollar Tree tongs, which nothing wrong. I get my silverware at Dollar Tree, but like
Right.
maybe for Valentine's Day, we've been dating for 2.5 years. That's not putting in any effort. And that's a conversation because are they putting effort in other areas of your life and relationship?
Right. That's such a good point.
Yeah. And and you can do things with bad gifts. You can like turn them into something you'll use. Like my ex-boyfriend, boy, why? Because why did I date him? I broke the cardinal rule. I did. I was the dumb 16-year-old and I bought him a promise ring. I know I can't even say it in full voice because I get full body chills and an
No, like
exorcism.
it did just like get me a little like nervous sweats over here that you just said
I
that.
know you guys, I'm sorry. I am, and there's no excuse. I know better. Um, I was 16. I bought him it, and you know what he did when we broke up? He melted it. He melted the ring, and he made a nickel out of it. So that didn't hurt.
Oh my
And the
gosh.
video of that being melted down was fine. I felt great. So you can always take a bad gift and make it into something you actually want, or something that doesn't remind you of someone. No, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Well, then I feel like this conversation can kind of bleed into like the absence of a gift sometimes can turn into like the expectation of like sex maybe instead, or someone using sex as a gift, and like you're on this date and you're like, you know what I mean, like
I love that.
you
Yeah.
I don't know,
You know
like
what? You're wearing
do you have any
yeah.
thoughts on that?
Oh yeah. You know what? It's Valentine's Day. Yeah, we're talking about diamonds and flowers and we're going out to eat at Longhorn. No, no, no. When you get home is when Valentine's Day starts. Or it doesn't. You
Or
know
it
what?
doesn't.
Because that,
It's like,
yeah.
is there, maybe you haven't been dating for someone that long, or you haven't been dating someone for that long, and you go on this date, and maybe you haven't hooked up yet. Like maybe you're really sweet. Like I know in this day and age, like first base is like hooking up with someone and then like you date later. But maybe you're like a traditionalist and you're sweet
Which is
and
great. Good for
which is
you.
amazing. And you haven't hooked up yet, or like the big like move like high
Yeah.
school coming of age movie thing where it's like Valentine's Day or prom night and you're like nervous
Love.
because you're about
Mhm.
to like you feel like you should have sex with this person. um
Yeah, and that's part of
you
like the
know
pressure and expectations. And it's kind of like I feel like that needs to be a conversation with your partner beforehand because you could be into things and you could like show up to dinner wearing a trench coat with like some sexy lingerie underneath and like at home there's like 100 candles, doves, and rose petals everywhere and
hmm
you're gonna get your
hmm
freak on, which pop off. I love that for you. You could have all that and your partner could be like, I don't even know if I want like to have sex. Like I could kiss, we could try oral sex, but that's something
hmm
you need to talk about because having those expectations isn't fair to your partner if they're not down for it. Now, obviously, if like, you know, you're a veteran couple, you're a veteran. You've taken the road to bed a couple of times. I think then Valentine's Day, if you're not gonna get them a gift, you're gonna be the gift. Put a bow on your butt because you're the little present. And it's true because think about it,
Yeah,
like romantic, like you could take so many routes with it too. Especially like as college kids, we don't have money.
right.
Like Longhorn right now is like an expensive it's an expensive meal.
No, like right before I just checked, but right before we started recording, I checked my bank account, and honestly, a Wendy's 4 for $4 would be an expensive meal for me to pay for this Valentine's Day.
Kidding.
You know, like
Right. And so maybe if like that's something you're into, sex, role playing, buy a wig, put a wig on your partner, try something new. Because, this is the time to do it. It's all about love and sex and romance. Do it up.
right.
That's all. Yeah. Right. And, you know, I don't want to say it, but if you're going to have sex for the first time on Valentine's Day, be careful about where you're going to dinner, how much you're drinking, stuff like that. Because if you want to eat that 40-ounce prime rib with some like cheese, Parmesan crust,
Mm,
oh, delish. You might get a little bloated, and then after a couple glasses of Chardonnay, you might be a little tipsy. And if it's your first time, if that's how you want to go after it, pop off.
do your
Love
thing.
it.
Do your thing.
But most of the time, I'm going to say that's probably not how people want to lose their virginity, a little tipsy and bloated from a 40-ounce prime rib. So I would definitely, if it's your first time or like you want this to be like a super special romantic evening, not
if
saying eat a
it's
salad
if
or rabbit food.
it's but also if you're wanting it to be like this super special romantic evening and it's you losing your virginity, here's the reality. It's not super romantic. It's awkward. It's weird. There's legs everywhere and you don't know where
Arms.
to, like you just don't know what to do with your body anymore. And it's awkward and you should just, know
Right.
going into it that it's going to be a little awkward and weird, but if that's what you want to do, then that's great. And no pressure if you don't, because it's Valentine's Day.
Right? Like just because it's like a holiday about love, love has so many different meanings to people. It could be sex, could be hand holding, it could be a back rub, it could be a gift, acts of service, communication, spending time together. There's so many different ways, and we'll talk about love languages in another podcast. But Valentine's Day doesn't have to mean anything if you don't want it to. It's all about what you're comfortable with, and be confident. Because you know what? Like, you're not going to enjoy it if you're going in there and you're like, oh, like, obviously, everyone's going to be nervous their first time. Or, like, even I still get nervous having sex
Yeah.
sometimes. I'm like, oh, I don't look good today. I ate too much. I feel bloated. Or, like, you just don't feel it. But, you know, being with a trusting partner definitely helps, especially on Valentine's Day, because it's about love. And if you love them, then sex will be lovely. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. Now, I touched upon this at the beginning. Valentine's Day is about love. If you want to break up with someone, do not do it near or on Valentine's Day. Oh my God, you are such a scumbag. Maybe not as a whole, but that's a scumbag move. Because it's a holiday about love. And you know what? Was I a dramatic 14-year-old? Yes, ma'am. Am I still a dramatic 22? Oh my God, I just said 15-year-old. I'm 22 years old.
No, mentally for sure.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Stunted. I don't even remember what I was saying. Breaking up.
Breaking
Yes,
up.
that 15-year-old brain. I literally, I'll say again, swan song. I was like, this is my last dance, my last night. I could not face the next day. Like, come on, don't do that to someone. And I get it. Break up with someone. If you don't have feelings with them anymore, break up with them. But if you're like, oh, I think I want to do it, and it's like 2 days before Valentine's Day, suck it up, buttercup.
You are already in the relationship this long. You can do 3 more days. You really can.
And,
don't do it the day before, day on, or day after. Like, give it a little bit of a buffer. And like, listen, you have every right to break up with somebody if it's just not for you anymore. But don't, like, they're gonna be like 80 years old in the little nursing home, happily married, for like 50 years or whatever.
Yeah, it'll
And
be like the Notebook.
and and they're still gonna remember when they were in college and got dumped on Valentine's Day. They'll know your first name, middle name, last name, probably your social security number if they're crazy, and
Address,
like
mother's maiden name, like you will
they'll
be
have it
ingrained in
all.
their, yeah. And that,
And like, just you
and
don't
there
want
are
to be that
cases,
person. You
yeah, and
you don't want to be that person.
yeah. And obviously there are like exceptions. If you found out your partner is like, sleeping with 500 other people behind your back, or like has a secret life, or is just a general like that kind of news, I'm gonna say you can break the rule. But unless you find out you're like dating a sleaze bag, no one really deserves that. And that goes with any holiday, birthday, Arbor Day is the only acceptable breakup holiday.
Maybe
You can break
Groundhog's
up
Day,
with
but
someone on
that
Arbor Day.
really
No one's gonna.
Groundhog's Day gets me a
Well,
little
no,
emotional because the movie. Oh my god, never mind. I take it back.
Yeah, no.
Arbor
And
Day
just think
is
about,
the only day.
imagine getting broken up with on Groundhog Day, and then it's 6 more weeks of winter. My life is now winter. Yeah, right. Poetic. I would.
We need to write a song about that, I think.
I'll get my guitar. Yes, but you know what? And if you're gonna break up with someone, you don't have to do like the all out, but you have to make sure, like, if you want to start dropping hints that things are working out, maybe you do that 4 for 4. Though you and Jenny have been dating for 6 years, maybe you do, or you go get them a promise ring, and they'll be like,
and you get them a promise ring, and they'll break up with you.
Tea, or you put this podcast on and be like, baby, it's Valentine's Day, we're gonna listen to this like college, oh my god, this college podcast about sex, play this episode, give her that promise ring, and then she'll be like, oh my god, because you'll just hear me and Hadley screaming enough, and she'll get the message.
If you want to use this as a breakup tool, we can say it for you. Ready?
Okay, ready? We'll say it. 1, 2, 3. I'm breaking up with you. I am breaking up with you.
And just in case it wasn't clear, I am breaking up with you.
Okay.
Okay. No,
use that however you want, please. Yeah, and like, yeah. So that being said, like, just make sure, like, if you want to drop hints a little bit, but like, don't make it obvious that you're like, yeah, I don't love you anymore. I actually am sleeping with your grandmother and your sister and your aunt.
The whole family
Maybe don't.
tree.
Yeah, right. Be like, I'm gonna be your poppy, grandpa, uncle, brother, cousin. Yeah. So maybe that's not the way to go about it. But if you're gonna break up with someone, just make sure it's not on. And like, if you want to make it less special so it doesn't hurt as bad, it might be kind of the nice thing to do.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
I know. And on the flip side, how to say I love you, because it's Valentine's Day. It's about love. I love love. I'm a lover, not a fighter. There are multiple ways to say it. I would suggest, and I reached out to some friends in college, got a little survey. Maybe don't say it during sex. Maybe when you're having sex, not the best time. Afterwards, different story.
Oh, absolutely.
And yeah, but it's so intimate and you're feeling like you're so connected with someone. But I don't know. I've definitely said it like when I was having sex and I like didn't really mean it. I was just like caught up in the moment. And like, that sucks. Mm-hmm. That really sucked. Mm-hmm. Or like, I've also had someone say it to me and then they were like, and I was like, oh my God. And it just ruined it. And it's just like, and I've talked to the people I talked to, they were like, oh, like, I didn't know if it was real or not. And then we just didn't talk about it. And like, we did love each other. And it was just like kind of awkward, like tiptoeing around it.
Right. That's so
like,
uncomfortable.
Yeah. It's so uncomfortable.
And if you mean it, like, you want the way you say it to come off as meaningful so that the other person isn't questioning whether or not they should say it back.
Absolutely. Because you know what? Stuff slips out during sex. People say stuff they don't mean, or they just say because you're not thinking. Your blood is not in your brain. Stuff just comes out, and whether you mean it or it comes out wrong, you still said it. And the other person maybe heard it, hopefully not, but probably did.
Right. But if, if you are serious about taking this next step in like your relationship and you want to tell somebody that you love them, whether it's on Valentine's Day, this advice can be taken on any day of the year. Like you're finally ready to be like, okay, I definitely love you and I want you to know. Whether you've been dating for a month, 6 months, however long you waited, if you feel that way, you know that you feel that way, and like there's ways to go about it that make it meaningful and sweet for the first time.
Absolutely. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with simplicity. There's nothing wrong with being like you're cuddling or like the cute. I think it's so cute when people do it, like they say it for the first time when like they're leaving. When it's like goodbye, and then you're like, wait, you turn back, the moon hits your face, you're like this god slash goddess, this ethereal being, and they're like, I love you, you kiss, fireworks, the doves come out.
And I think there's, for me, I feel like there's like the first time you say I love you, like maybe if it's like over text or something or Snapchat or whatever, the first time they say it in person is so different. You know what I mean? Like I think so. Like for me, for example, like my boyfriend, like he said it like on a Saturday night on Snapchat, and it took me a half an hour to like get it out of him because he was like, "Oh my god, I almost just said something," and he was so dramatic about it. I was like, "No, what'd you say?" And he was like, "Oh no, nothing," and like he wouldn't say it. But like obviously I knew exactly what he was trying to say, and he tried to say it in every way except for just a simple like I love you, right? So like he said, if you're listening and you're in college, you remember the Vine days, and there was like that Vine where the guy had the guitar and he was like, I love you, bitch, I'm never gonna stop loving you, bitch, and the girls were like, oh my god. He literally sent me that Vine and I was like,
oh my god,
and I was like and I was like, no, like I'm sorry, like are you just sending me this just because like it's funny, like are you trying to tell me you love me, like what's going on? And he was like, no, like I love you. And I was like, oh, cute. And then a couple days later he was at my house and we had the moment where he was like, he was leaving, the door was open, he turns around and is like, I love you, a little kiss, and then like walked out the door. And I was like, oh my god. I happened to be on FaceTime with Ethan as he was leaving. So I came back and I was like, he said it. Okay, so we had a minor technical difficulty. We're back right in the middle of the story.
It was fine. It was fine.
We paused as we were screaming. So you're cutting right back to us. We're like, ah. So basically, that is my most recent I love you story, and it was very sweet. And of course, I said it back, and it's great. Do you have any crazy stories of I love you, Ethan?
I'm trying to think. I feel like it was all pretty normal. My current boyfriend, he sent me a heart, like drew a heart on Snapchat, like with his finger, and then I sent one back, and he was like, "What does the heart mean?" And I was like, "I don't know." And then he was like, "I think it means I love you." I was like, "No!" I was like, no, this is not what I want. Of course, I said it back. I was like, "Oh, I love you too." But again, you can say it over Snap. I had this one boyfriend. We were walking home in the snow from a party. It was like that, like movie snow, like the Disney snow. It was like light and fluffy and falling straight down, no wind. He pulls me by my jacket, was like, I have to tell you now, I love you. Planted a big one on my lips. And I was like, I love you. It was magical.
That sounds
obviously relationship didn't work out. Oh my god, it was like out of a Nicholas Sparks movie. It was great. But like not everything has to be like a movie or a TV show, because that's not real life. That's not how sex and love and relationships go. If you love someone, just tell them. If you're sitting there on the couch while they're eating their Ben and Jerry's, watching, Glee on Netflix with their acting dots on, and you're like, I love this person, Tell them.
Say it.
Because the worst thing that happens is they say, I'm not ready yet.
Yeah.
They say, I'm not ready. I mean, if you're like been together for like a little while, maybe don't say if you've slept with them twice.
Right. That's a good point.
That might not go over as well as you would think.
But
if you've like been consistently with them.
Yeah. If you've been with them for a while, when you know, that type of situation.
Tell them from the rooftop.
Do it. Yeah. And in the spirit of Valentine's Day, do it.
Yeah. In the spirit. I know, because odds are you're a lovable person. They probably love you too. Mm-hmm. Well, and it's kind of wrap things up. We've been talking about the do's and don'ts of Valentine's Day. We talked to our friends about, here's the biggest thing. Whether you're going on a date, whether you're getting a McChicken and having some casual sex, love yourself. Because this day is all about love. Love yourself. Make sure you're happy. Buy yourself a present. Buy yourself that chocolate. Buy yourself a McChicken and a Shamrock Shake and masturbate. Because you deserve it.
Why not?
Yeah, and like and whether you are going to Longhorn or you're going to the aquarium or you're just sitting around, or whatever it may be, you are your own sexual being. Whether you're having sex, whether you're not, make sure you're doing what you are comfortable with, and don't put too much pressure on yourself. It's a made-up holiday by Hallmark.
Right.
It's not your wedding day. It's not the day you're getting proposed to. It's a silly little holiday that you can make it special if you want, but if it's not, that's okay. Love yourself.
Or if you're single, that's fine. Hang out with some friends. Work that discount candy the next day at CVS. And, and there's always next year. If you're single, if it turns out to be a hot mess, whatever, there's always next year.
There's always, yeah. And for the foreseeable future, there will be a Valentine's Day. So don't you worry. Yeah. And spend time with friends if you're single, or get laid. Go have sex if you want.
Why not?
Or don't. Whatever you want to do, own your sexuality, have fun, and be safe. Most importantly, be safe. Oh my God, please. when I was researching this, I saw there's like 33% of people that like have sex on Valentine's Day end up in the hospital from like trying new stuff.
Oh,
yeah, that was like on like, I think that was on ABC News. So be safe. Research anything you're going to try. Make sure you practice it, and consent.
Yeah.
But love yourself. Love yourself. Love your friends. Love your family. Love you. Love everyone. Love everyone. Oh, love everyone. And this was To Tell You the Truth. I'm Ethan.
I'm Hadley.
And this was
thank you for listening.
Oh, yes, yeah. Thank you. No, you're fine. Don't know. Yeah. I know. I should. Yeah, you know what? Thank you. I should thank them before I start saying who this was presented by. Yes, thank you guys so much for listening. Make sure, if you didn't listen to last week, what am I saying? Last week's episode, go take a listen. That was our first episode. This will be coming out on Valentine's Day, and our next one will be coming out the Monday after this one. So thank you guys for listening. This was presented by Cher, oversaw by the University of Maine, and Dr. Sandra Karen. And thank you guys so much, and enjoy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.